Hello.
Hello. Oh,
Hello.
I see
Lyndsie now.
I know. Just us.
And then Megan.
Okay.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm not doing video today, ladies. I'm sorry.
Megan.
Well, I see how scary my hair is. I wasn't going to do video either. I'm like, holy.
I'm still in my house coat.
Hey, my pajamas are on under my sweatshirt.
I'm
Really?
definitely
That's
still
awesome.
in my pajamas. I don't think I've ever done these not in my pajamas.
Honestly, I've never.
I've known you guys long enough. I'm like, screw it. I don't care.
I'm like, yeah, you know what? This is what you get.
That's awesome.
All right. I'm going to start just on the corner of my screen and ask each of you to share what you came up with. Allison, you want to go first?
Sure. About the community. I think that you should have an option or encourage every new member of the Patreon group to have at least one conversation or Zoom call with an existing member. So that I think would really help. I think especially when you partnered us all up in all of the FemTeen stuff, it really pushed us to start getting comfortable with the technology and building those relationships. So that's one of my thoughts, is pushing that. And then creating a monthly accountability group or a partner system so that you become invested in the group and invested in others. So it's not really more work. It's just like, this is what I'm going to do and this is when I'm going to do it by, so that you have to be accountable to other people when you come back and say, oh, I've done what I said I was going to do. So it's not really more work for anyone. It's just encouraging people to do those things and setting up those times.
Love it.
So
who wants to be the FempreneurLand welcome wagon team? Can I get a raise of the hand? Yeah, all
I
of
can
you
do some of that.
Okay, so when you guys register, I get this email and it says that you've registered, and then it has this button in the email that I haven't played with yet, but it says, I'm going to send one to Shannon right now. It says send a personal message. So I could send a personal message to you through Patreon, and I could say, here's Allison's email address, or here's Allison's email address and Instagram handle, for example. She's waiting for you to reach out and book a one-on-one with her because she wants to welcome you to the community. Like, is that kind of what you mean?
Yeah, or just send like a Zoom link and just say,
wouldn't it possibly be better the other way around?
yeah, that
like they're new and it's like, hey, Allison's going to be contacting you soon. Otherwise it's like, oh, I'm new, but I have to reach out.
Yes. Yes, true. Okay, I like that better. That makes more sense.
Or email both. Like if you can, like,
yeah, that's good.
If you're emailing Shannon,
intro,
say, copy Allison, like email with Allison, say, hey, I've attached Allison to this email. She's going to reach out via email to set up a time.
It's even better. Yeah.
To welcome you, so that like that the onus is on you as the existing member, but it's on there. You have both people have each other's contact.
Yeah, I haven't played with Patreon much yet, but I think I might even like to keep that whole thing right inside Patreon, because I think they have a feature much like Messenger where we can, yeah, Selena, keep it easy for them for sure. I think they might have a feature like Messenger where I could, because you know how some of you have done that to introduce you, I'll pull you and them into a group chat and be like, here, let the magic happen, and then I split kind of thing and let you guys run with it. So yeah, I'll check that out. I'll see what kind of features Patreon has. I love that. That'll be
That'd be nice. Yeah, keep it in Patreon instead of the emails and the here's in like all the other platforms.
Because that's a big part of why I wanted to find us something else, because I have been hearing stories of people getting booted off of Facebook and then they lose everything. They lose Messenger, they lose their Facebook pages, they lose all of it. And so I really wanted to go.
It's good to have another person as an administrator on your page.
Yes, I will look into that too. I like that. Okay. Is that it, Allison? Do you got more?
Well, I don't know how much I'm supposed to give and how much Shannon's supposed to give.
Shannon loves to talk, so she probably wants you to pass the baton to her.
and then it's stuff. It's like about the community. It's the support. It's the personal interaction. It's the friendships that you've built. So it's almost having like a way of like having like a brag session too. Like have like a, oh, I talked to so and so and this is what I learned from her. So if this is what you're needing help with, like, so it's almost like a brag part to it. I don't know Patreon. at
Celebrate.
all. It's like a way to celebrate whoever you've talked to. So it's like if I talk to Shannon and we had a great conversation, you'd say, hey, I just had this really inspiring conversation, and you can share it with other people. So it's a way of sharing at the same time.
And
And it's maybe sometimes hard for Shannon, say, like you just talk to Shannon and you feel inspired, and maybe, it's hard for her to say, toot her own horn, and I've done this and I can accomplish that, but you've got someone else promoting what they have found of value from that person and how they've served them.
And then also somewhere to brag about what you've accomplished. So
Yes.
it's like, because
It
you
always
need
like
some-
helps too. Like I work with Jane a lot, and if someone's looking for a nutrition coach, they can go, Jane, who do you recommend? And it just helps your credibility. It's like if you're looking for a contractor for your house, you want to go with someone that you can trust, and that's what we can do for each other in this community. It's like kind of like a referral.
yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I'm so excited about the live stream feature of Patreon is if one of our admins goes live in there, like somebody who has permission to start the live, all of us who are members can see that they're live, and we can jump on and we can interact. We can high five them and celebrate and brag and all that together. So I do want to have those scheduled live streams each week. Like, for example, this is a brag live stream or whatever, right? This is a, Miriam's coming on to teach us about how to not, piss our money away and save some of it or whatever. Like, we'll have those real structured live streams where there's a purpose for it, but I think it'll just be, instead of worrying about Zoom links and things like that, it'll just always be easy to just jump on, right?
And that's within Patreon?
Yeah, Patreon has all that as part of it.
One
The
thing
other-
about the Facebook Lives is you can, if all of us know when we're going live, the others can share. There's a whole bunch of live stream groups that just up your algorithm. And that's all it is. They're just live stream groups. So you share your lives, I can share, everybody shares the same live to all. I've got like 5, there's tons of them, but there's, even if you do it to 5, it just bumps your algorithm. And if your live is an hour or more, then Facebook absolutely loves that. But I mean, that's pushing it. Obviously, it's maybe hard to fill an hour, but yes, you can throw these into these live stream groups, and that's all they're for, is to promo.
Okay, I'm not a member of any live stream groups, so maybe you can pop a couple links into our speaker, our conference planning chat, Dina, because I didn't even know about that. That's great.
The other 2 things was, what are we supposed to talk about in the live stream? That was our first question for Shannon and I. We did book a time, but we didn't know what to talk about. And the other is making sure that the chances to meet people, there are chances that are after business hours for us, because Shannon works in her store during the day. I don't do anything during the day usually unless it's booked, because I have kids. So I know most of you are not in the young child sort of bedtime routine. I can't do anything before 8 o'clock because I am in mom mode between 4 and 8. So all of those things. So making sure that we're being inclusive with those times, because sometimes you can't piece out and say, I've got to go do this because you got a mom. So
yeah, maybe I'll get a welcome wagon, I'll build a 1-pager of all the names and then the best times for them to have those one-on-one welcome chats with the noobs. Yeah. Okay, cool.
So I think that was what Shannon and I had.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. Okay, good stuff. Wow, that's just the start. Shannon, do you have anything to add to that?
My big thing was just having kind of different hours for some of these, like the Fab 5 events, because I can't leave during business hours, right? So having that flexibility, because I always feel like I'm missing out on that kind of stuff, because my priority is the shop, and because I don't have young kids, and yeah.
Okay. Absolutely. Yeah, I'll definitely make a point of alternating between stupid early 6 a.m., maybe afternoon, and then later evening, and kind of just making sure there's always something going on that week that anyone can attend, right? They can pick and choose something to feel connected to the group. that's at a time that works for them. Okay, that's really good feedback. Thank you. Okay, who's next on my list? Megan, what do you got? She went back to bed.
No, I'm here.
There you are.
Just like trying to find the mute button. It's always a challenge. Okay. So me and Rebecca met, and I guess we want to continue to do ongoing support and remember that this is a lot of women in business. So continuous learning. I like your idea of having people coming on and teaching stuff. And we want to like do that, you know, once or even twice a week. Just be able to support people with skills and abilities that we all know on our own and share that with the group, because I think it's important that we teach people and grow together. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah. Rebecca, do you want to chime in at all?
Yeah, so we thought it was a good idea to even have like, even once a month, have a free like webinar on something business related, and use that sort of as a way to get people to join Fempreneur, right? So, you know, Rebecca and Dane are going to go and do a free workshop on, you know, February 15th about, you know, business collaboration, basically what we're doing now, because there's going to be people that have missed it. And then it would give all of you an opportunity to attend it too. So something like that. And then we thought it would be good too, just to show, yeah, we're a community of support, but show them how much fun we have. And I know it's a lot harder now that everything's shifted online. At the same time, we don't want people to think that we're just all about the party too, right? Like we are focused on women in business and that community of support. So I don't know. I still think it's cool to have a virtual happy hour after the last day of the conference where we all, you know, everybody just gets online and just whatever, has a fun time. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I added that to the schedule. I called it the FempreneurLand launch, but I could probably put a little image of like clinking champagne glasses or something next to it just to make sure it's clear. But yeah, so stick around for that, ladies, those of you who can. That'll be in the evening on the Thursday. And yeah, absolutely. I want to host that on Patreon. So the cool thing about Patreon is my Patreon account for FempreneurLand, there's a public aspect to it, right? Where we can do a live stream and anyone can jump on, but then they just have to have a Patreon account. But then there's the tier, which you guys have all become a member of, and stuff that happens within that tier is stuff that only you have access to, right? So we can do public Zoom style events on that Patreon page, kind of like you were saying, give them that little taste. And so maybe we'll host that one we have to host it on Patreon because it's officially the FempreneurLand launch. So I'll have to figure that out by then, but I will. And
Can I ask you quickly about the tier thing on Patreon? Because I was just looking at my account and it said, like, when I clicked on tier, it says join, like join the $9 tier. So that meaning I'm not a part of that tier.
Well, you paid for it, so I think you're in there because I got an email saying you're in there.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that means.
Okay. No, I'll just show you. Like, can you see it?
Yes.
So under the tier option,
did you hit that button? What does the button do? Because the button doesn't look like it does anything. Because I think you're already in.
No, hold on, it's loading.
Oh, it's loading. Okay.
So it wants me to pay $9 again.
Oh, okay. Well, that's weird. Yeah, you're already in there for sure because I got the email.
Yeah.
So yeah. So again, thanks for all of you for being part of this clunky startup phase. We'll figure it out.
It could be because the payment's not coming out until January 1st. That could be why.
Oh, yes, that's right too. It's set for January 1st.
Oh,
right.
okay.
So I would wait and see what happens January 1st and then go from there.
Yeah, let's all revisit this January 1st and see what happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, no,
that's a setting I might need to tweak actually and have it charge right away, because if it's going to stop people from getting in right away, that's not good. So I'll look at that too.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll definitely do a practice powwow in there, like in the FempreneurLand Patreon thing, like to make sure that we're all good with doing that.
Are you going to advertise, obviously, like Fempreneur is now on Patreon, Or did you, maybe you already did send out a MailChimp link or something for it?
Yeah, no, it's all happening. And I just wanted to make sure it made sense. Like, so those of you who haven't been to the YYC Fempreneurs homepage in the last 24 hours, please go over there and watch that video and click both of those buttons. Just make sure that if there's anything I can do to change the wording on the buttons, I changed it already after talking to a couple of you last night. So thank you for that feedback. But if there's anything I can do to make that more clear, that there's conference only or conference and community, right? And conference only is live access only, no recordings, unless they want to get a hold of each of you and get your recordings. Of course, they can do that and you can give them to them if you want to. But over here, because Patreon, again, not only has the live stream feature, it has like an online teachable Udemy type course, like where we can have like files in there, right? We can have stored videos, all sorts of things. It's like member only access. So I'm going to take all those recordings and put them in there, and they'll live in there forever. So when noobs come in, they can go and watch your recording from the workshop, from the conference. And right, so they don't necessarily have to wait for you to become our speaker of the week to meet you and to learn from you, because your conference workshop will always be living in there. But yeah, so go to the homepage of Fempreneurs. If you haven't recently, please send me a private message with your feedback. If there's something alarming or confusing, I want to know, because obviously tomorrow morning I'm going to be on CTV News and again tomorrow at noon, and I don't want people to get to the website and then be like, what the? So like, please help me with that.
You're on CTV tomorrow morning?
Yeah, 7:18.
Okay.
Yeah, please tune in, take a video of your TV screen with your phone, tag YYC Fempreneurs.
Totally.
I want to get like, yeah, it's gonna be super exciting. I have asked Terry Fikowski if I could have another one of my Fempreneurs be there with me, so because it doesn't feel right for it to be just me, but she was kind of giving me pushback on that, just because from a tech standpoint, as we all know, the more people trying to join, it can get tricky. But I'm like, you're CTV, figure it out. I'm like, come on. I'm trying for that. I'm just texting with her actually while you guys are in your breakout room, so we'll see if I can pull that off. I have someone in mind for that. But anyways, okay. Megan, did you have more?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay, 6:56, awesome. Rebecca, do you have anything else?
No, just, yeah, show them how much fun. And then I thought too, like, I like the idea of reaching out to all the women that we know. But we also
like
wanted it to be authentic, right? So we didn't want to like just shove it. So like I have some people in mind, so I think I'm going to start there. Rather than just going like hog wild and sending it to like, I really want it to be personalized, and I want people to think that, or that actually I do care and I'm doing this in their best interest.
Yeah.
Because some people I know would just be like, meh. No,
yeah, so it's like saying
thing.
things like, trust me, you're gonna love it, is all you need to say sometimes, right? Is trust me, you're gonna love it. Back to your question, Allison, about what are we talking about on our Facebook Lives? Same 3 questions we always talk about when we interview fempreneurs live on videos. How did you start your business? Why did you start your business? Tell me the story of how your business came to be a thing. Like, what was that aha moment of like, holy shit, I need to start a business? Or what was keeping you up at night that made you start this business? Or something happened. Tell me that story, right? And then the next thing you want to ask them is, what do you want more women in business to know about how to just do a better job? Or maybe there's something they're not doing that you know they could do, right? And that was when I asked Miriam that question yesterday. She was like, write it down, write things down. Be the person that takes tons of notes. Like, be the person that hears a gold nugget and doesn't just let it go out their brain. Like, write it down. And I've heard all sorts of cool things. Like Selena asked Carrie that question, and it was like, I would advise you to not let fear hold you back. Do that thing you think is scary. So those are the things you want to pull out of her when you're interviewing her. And then lastly, what are you talking about at the conference, right? Tell me a little taste of that. Give me some teasers. What are women going to come away with from that session with you? Where, yeah. And then, you know, talk about FempreneurLand, of course, because it's like, here's a place where you can get access to all the conference workshop recordings if you can't attend them all, because who can, other than me, apparently. I'm going to try. And then, yeah, like, so talk about all that stuff, but the stories, right? Stories sell, facts tell. So stories are what we want. So get them sharing their stories. And if they're being kind of blasé about it and they're not giving you any meat, just dig a little deeper. Don't be afraid to ask them for like, how did that feel? And oh gosh, that must have been awful. Like, tell me more. Like, don't be afraid to dig. Like you're the radio reporter or whatever, right? So yeah, for those of you who have to jump off at 7 o'clock sharp, that's cool. But I want to stay and get a little more information out of those of you that don't have to run off. And then Gina's workshop run through is at 7:30 on the 403-333-9999 Zoom link. So just want to mention that before we continue on. Jane, do you want to share?
I'm going to ask Dina to do it because we did it as a team and she took the notes and we agreed she'd be the spokesperson. Well, I agreed.
Yeah.
We agreed, or you voluntold her?
Well, you know how it works.
Oh,
I do.
We agreed. It was awesome. And as usual, I came in thinking, what, we're doing breakout rooms? I don't know if my brain's ready to talk, but as soon as we hit that room, we were inspired. The very first thing as part of the conversation is that I didn't have a chance, and Jane just took a quick look at the Patreon. I haven't been in it yet, but the first thing that came up is that it's 9, but it's US. I think it would be, we agree, it would be better to say it's 15 and they get there and it says 9, but then it's 9 US, so it's really 15, because right off the hop, we don't want them to get the wrong tone that okay, what's the next thing that's going to be this, but it's actually going to be more or whatever. So the transparency, set that trust factor right up front.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, because it's going back up to 49 today, but what's going to happen is when they get there, it's going to be 39. So I like that idea. That's awesome.
Yeah. And then as far as the group, we're building a group that's serving versus competing with each other, and we don't always see that in other groups. So support, accountability, networking, sharing our knowledge and experience, non-competitive, we don't withhold. So even though we are in the same genre in some cases, we're not withholding from each other. And Jane's a fine example of that, where she's referred one of her top paying customers to one of our other team members, and they're in the same genre. So we really want that trust factor, that this is a safe place to share, and you're not going to share some nugget and then it's used to steal some of who you serve. Like there's not that atmosphere here at all. And I think as far as that kind of leads into, maybe we're ready to rebrand and drop the YYC, because we're not only national, we're international. And there is that comfort factor that, you know, it's our small little intimate local group, and some that might not be comfortable with that, but we can't let that restrict the growth either. So we still have that intimacy, even though it's far beyond the YYC area. And there's people who don't know what YYC stands for, and those who do and want to hang on to that, possibly, like, I'm just being blunt here.
Yeah.
No. Because I'm speaking for Jane as well. She doesn't pull punches, so I'm not going.
So just why you all get this idea that I'm blunt. I mean,
we love it. We love it. We all want to be Jane. So I'm channeling Jane. So we don't want to restrict that growth, and we don't want to lose the opportunity to grow simply because it's scary, right? So that's just something we were throwing out there. It's an opportunity, this conference, as well as what the community we're creating beyond. It's an opportunity to be basically like a smorgasbord of services. But what I liked better was Jane used the term private shop of outsourced, proven, trusted service providers. And they actually get an opportunity to get to know them in a very personal, interactive way during the conference, and builds that trust. You know, I feel like I know this person, and I like what their voice, it resonates with me. I can really relate. And maybe I didn't realize that I don't have to do everything. Wow, there's somebody that does that, and I now know them and trust them, and they can help me either learn, they can coach me, or I can hire them, or whatever it is. So as far as the values list, it's great as an intro. I love having that in the back of my mind. I know nobody's going to be trying to sell me something all the time or whatever. So you can kind of let your guard down that way. So I think it's nice to have that in place and to have it up front. I don't know that we need to always keep telling. I think if you read it and come across it once or twice early on, that's great. And I really love everything that's in there now. But, you know, maybe just tweak it with a few of those things. The other thing is a calendar or a framework would be very helpful, because it's like, boom, all of a sudden, oh, there's a Fab Five. What, did I miss that? And it's like tomorrow, and people in general, I think would like to have a big, here's everything. Okay, my family, all my other commitments, I'm committed. This is my time. I'm going to want to be part of this, and this. The content I know will have value. So even if all I have to go by is a title and we're winging the content as we get there, if we know every single time there's value. So maybe it's an educational module this time, or it's a networking module or meeting Fab Five, whatever it is. But just that we have a big overview of what's coming. That would be very, very helpful. And then we can commit to being there.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much it that we came up with.
Wow.
We booked our Facebook live stream yard for Saturday, and we'll figure that out.
Yes.
Facebook Lives. I haven't used StreamYard, so you know, just do I start in StreamYard and then go to Facebook? Do I whatever? We'll figure it out.
Yeah, Carrie and I did a little practice run before we did it the next day, just so maybe just like do a quick little practice run when you set up your StreamYard account. It won't make you actually go live, but you'll see both your faces and you'll know that all you have to do is hit the live button. So then you'll just, if you just get to that point, then you'll just have that comfort that it's all good. And
you start in StreamYard?
No, you start actually right on your Facebook page. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So StreamYard will actually hook up to your Facebook page. So then once you log into your Facebook page, they're already talking kind of thing, right?
Okay, cool.
I don't know if that makes sense.
It will once we get there.
It was actually pretty easy, and I was really impressed with it. So I think you guys are going to love it. And yeah, hopefully all of you in your partnerships got at least one, Facebook Live scheduled, and I'll be reaching out to a couple of you to schedule a couple throughout the weekend, because we're just going to be like on all weekend, and I'll be looking to you guys to pull you on and pull your stories out of you on the Fempreneur channel. And Selena, I don't know if Selena's around this weekend, but maybe she'll be helping with that. We'll see. Thank you, Dina. Thank you, all of you. Lisa, do you have anything to add?
Not a lot, actually, because Miriam and I just kind of got talking and getting to know each other, and then all of a sudden our time was up.
Okay, yeah. Awesome. I think good.
I'm sorry.
You had a good time. No, it's all good. I mean, that's one of the things when you get with somebody that you don't know, it's like, that's really where you got to start. So totally get it.
Yeah. Unless, Miriam, you had something that came to mind that you wanted to share as well from the conversation.
No, I think, and if anything, really good points were brought up, and I 100% agreed with quite a few of those points that mainly Dina brought up, I think. So I appreciate that, because I think that was the thing for me. Like, honestly, the price is such a good price, but I think it was like that instant, like, whoa, it's US, not Canadian. And then I thought that was like an error or a typo. So I think a lot of people would hold back and not go on because they thought, oh, that's a mistake, right? So yeah,
gotcha. No, I like that feedback for sure. I'm definitely gonna change that. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that. Okay, Noreen, you got to take off. We will kind of do, because we got to use the Zoom channel for Gina's presentation. But yeah, what do you got, Noreen?
Yeah, so Selena and I, we shared a lot of the same values, I think, that all the other ladies brought up, but we sort of took it as, what is typical in the world or in the corporate environment and what is different. And so we came up with, normally things are very superficial and you don't go very deep with things, whereas this community and the learning is very transformational. So we just took superficial, transformational. We took the competition versus collaboration. We talked about sort of when you're on your own, you can kind of procrastinate or let things slide. But there's, in this community, there's a deep sense of accountability. And then some of the networking events or the things that we thought would be good is we both agreed that like giving back or doing some kind of impact into the community is really important. And some of the ideas, Selena had an idea about like doing some kind of live auction. I was thinking maybe we could come up with like a Fempreneur scholarship where, you know, maybe there are some resources that are pooled for a woman who's, you know, trying to get a business off the ground. Maybe she doesn't have the means or the resources. So some kind of scholarship, some kind of mentorship program. And then even pooling sort of resources, because I mean, you've got a lot of YouTube videos and everything, Lyndsie, but you know, resources, especially when it comes to the tech and it comes to like, what do I do and how do I figure all this out? Like it can take days and weeks and months to kind of figure out all these things. And so, you know, what are our lessons learned and what are our sort of resources? Yeah, like Jana, a step-by-step, exactly, on different things. Maybe we can each sort of, you know, get some resources or guides or step-by-step things together. What else did we come up with? Oh, yes. We also talked about that calendar of events. Well, we didn't talk about it, but I made a note about it. I love that idea because I find that too. It's like half an hour, I get a text and it's like, oh, I didn't know that that was happening. So a little more advanced planning would be great. And somebody else was mentioning about like like a wall of fame, like a Fempreneur, sort of celebrate our successes and
or a spotlight.
Like a spotlight, some kind of, you know, like this person's doing something amazing and let's celebrate them for it. And yeah, I don't know if you wanted to add anything else to that, Selena.
Yeah, just that like a really big thing with this program is that we're not just on the sidelines, we're actually in there playing the game, we're all together. And so that was really big for me because when I'm taking action and doing things, I learn better than just being talked to. So that was something really big. We came up with like a lot of different words that describe this program, but we talked a lot about diversity and how diverse everybody's businesses are. But when they all come together, they all work really well together and it makes us stronger. And so, yeah, there was a whole bunch of things. And I know when I was talking to Shannon yesterday about how it can feel so overwhelming and you can feel so alone, but this group provides the community and that sense of you don't have to do it all alone anymore. So that was it. And also with the scholarship idea, it could even be as easy as giving a free ticket to your marketing school / class. Because I feel like so many people think starting a business is this big thing. You need so much money. But if you're just starting a service, you actually really don't, because MailChimp is free, or there's like a lot of free things that you can use. So I think even just giving a ticket to your YYC Fempreneurs Marketing School would also be very beneficial.
Yes. Yeah, the scholarship for the marketing school, I think is going to be huge. I love that. Yeah, I love that. That's going to happen for sure.
Yeah, and we both really like the idea of the calendar that it's a really good idea because I'm a planner and a scheduler, and sometimes I'm like, oh my god, what is happening this week? So even if it could be like a weekly update, I mean, if you know in a month, that would be nice as well, but sometimes it doesn't work that well. So a weekly little update would be nice. Yes. So yeah, I really like that idea.
You need to come to our presentation. This is exactly what Jane and I are talking about.
We will be there.
Collaboration, yeah. And pooling resources and all that, yeah.
No, that's awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I like your comment, Jane. Yeah, I'd like to see more forward planning so the newbies feel there's a real plan that builds trust in the program. Having a, you know, because up until now, the only program that we had was marketing school, right? And I knew that had to change, but I also know that I'm going to be leaning on all of you. Like, we're going to be building a FempreneurLand committee. We have to. Like, I can't do all the things you're talking about, but they all have to happen. And I know that if, you know, each of us takes a piece, we can absolutely create a friggin' beautifully well-oiled machine and create, just like Jane said, like that really awesome program and system for the newbies to come into, and they know kind of where to start and they know where to go next. And absolutely, yeah. And if they need to apply for a scholarship for marketing school, here's how you do it and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, the new business step-by-step package. Yeah, I love that, Allison. Totally.
Even creating like a pathway. Like, I'm part of this committee, national committee, and we're trying to beef up our volunteer recruitment. And one of the ideas that I had is to create like an actual very visually rich kind of pathway where the volunteer can see sort of where they enter, you know, where they start, and sort of the pathway along into FempreneurLand. That really helps, kind of like an infographic, or, you know, but something really visually rich, just to help people navigate and get connected, and different sidelines or different opportunities that they can take.
Yes, absolutely. Noreen, if you wouldn't mind doing a little like mock-up of that visual on Canva or on pen and paper, I'd love to see what that would look like. And then we can probably just build on it together, right? That's awesome. I'm a visual learner too, as you know. I also love Canva more than life itself, which is why I get so excited about building things on Canva, because until it's on Canva, it's not real. Yeah, no, thanks you guys. This is fantastic. Who hasn't shared yet that would like to chime in and share what they've got written down from their one-on-ones?
Just be really quick, because I know we gotta. Bye, Noreen. Thanks.
Bye, Noreen.
Yeah, Rayanne and I too, very similar what you guys were all bringing up. Things that weren't said though yet is really that gain confidence and understanding social media. I had an aha moment last night listening to Selena, and I was like, yes, like I'm past this. Like, this is truly woo. Like, I was totally there like in June, and now I'm like, yes, I understand what she's actually saying. So that was, and Selena, you did a great job. And again, the piece around the diversity piece, like that's again what we said, like I have learned so much about all of your topics that I feel like a more balanced person, like about nutrition and health and how sleep and, you know, and so that collaboration over, yeah, whatever competition, that really resonates with me. I've never felt sold to, I've never felt put down. I've never, like, there's just that really, so when I was when we were thinking about retweaking the statement, it was around, you know, this really is a safe, welcoming, supportive learning environment for female entrepreneurs. I really feel like all of us, that's what we bring every day. And when I, like yesterday, when I was super sick with a migraine and I couldn't come, I was like, oh, I'm letting the team down. Like, it really felt bad. And I think it's my first sick day I've taken. But yeah, like you do have that sense because you are being held accountable to like lift and support and learn. And then one thing too, you guys talked about is what would I tell my younger self? And it was ask for help sooner. Like, you don't have to do it alone. Don't do it alone, please. That's my biggest learning moment. And also, like, if any of you want me to interview you this week or weekend, I have the whole week off. So I have flexibility during the day and evening and whatever. I'm happy to try this, whatever it's called, StreamYard. I'm happy to try it out and interview you and get you pumped for next week.
Okay.
Rayanne, did I miss anything?
No, but one thing I was just stewing over while everybody was talking was also, I mean, there's definitely, like, I'm coming on a year now, right? So there's definitely been times where either I didn't know what that vision was or I didn't know what it looked like. And it was a group of people that came together to help me find the vision of what does this look like and where do I go with that. And so sometimes just having somebody else on the outside looking in to give you a vision is massive too, right?
Yeah, it's invaluable, right? It's like, yeah, I can't even describe it. Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you for that. And that's exactly what is happening with, you know, the evolution towards this conference and then the evolution towards the online community. I mean, it's because of all of you telling me what you need. And it's also because we can't get together live. So it's like, you know, yeah, so but it's mostly because, like you said, Rayanne, having these women come around and just be honest with you and do it from a place of love and just caring. Yeah, it's amazing. Okay.
Oh, and the friendships. Can we just really emphasize that? Like,
yeah.
Friendships are key. That's why I get up at 5:30 to be awake for 6. Yeah.
Friendships guaranteed. No, I'm kidding.
And a new love for mornings. There's a reason to get up. Like it,
Ooh.
you know, like if you're looking to change your mental health, like getting up early can help that too.
Yeah, it is actually amazing how few people sleep through their alarms for this stuff. Like I can count on one hand the time like people were like, yeah, I just slept through my alarm. Because it's like people get excited for this. Right?
Plus, I'm always like super productive and jazzed and creative right after them, right? Like they inspire me. And then I'm like, oh, I have another hour before my son wakes up. Sweet. I'm going to work on some stuff right now, get some things done.
Yeah, totally. I was going to show you my new robe, Colette. I got a sweet robe for Christmas from Jake. It's so awesome and it's so soft and oh, love it. I'm gonna live in it for 4 days next week. Okay. Anybody else before we hop off? Because we need to hop off.
I just wanted to quickly say, Lyndsie, because you had asked me to post that link, which I'm going to post on my Instagram and my Facebook, but I'll maybe, if you're okay with it, I'll post in our chat that we have on Facebook. And remember, you'd asked about the link for sole proprietorships.
Yes, please do.
Okay. And so ladies, just so that you know what that was, is just anybody who's just really starting that business brand new, or maybe you're in year 1 or year 2 and you've really just, you know, you haven't taken the steps to either sole proprietorship or incorporate, and it's kind of just like as extra personal income. I truly believe the government, like everything that the government has done for us, is not going to end for 2020. I think it will roll into 2021. I think we're going to see this till the end of December. And I think it's super important if you guys would like to take advantage of so many of the grants and the Alberta and the provincial stuff that's being offered and the federal stuff, you do need to be sole propped. So just wanted to make sure if you guys have any questions about that, let me know and I will help you through that. The biggest thing too is if you want to be a 2020 business, you have to do it today or tomorrow, because then you won't be part of the 2020 businesses. So just a heads up on that.
That's really smart. Wow. Yeah, we've got a real brainiac on the team here, guys. So this is fantastic. So yeah, reach out to Miriam with questions around everything government funding, everything to do with COVID funding, everything to do with getting your business set up from a legit standpoint. I've been incorporated for years, so yeah, it's an expense that sometimes I kind of questioned, but obviously back to like some of the conversations we had yesterday about, you know, attaching payment systems. It's like, get yourself either incorporated or a sole prop, be legit, treat it like it's big from day one, and spread that message to all the noobs that you're talking to, because the more we help them treat it like it's going to be big, the more likely it is to be big, right? Exactly. So anyways,
sole prop is easy, it's quick, it takes 5 minutes, and it's not expensive like incorporating. So I think if you're a small business, you make kind of under that 30,000 a year ish. I mean, that's kind of the average number. You could definitely be a little bit higher. You might as well be sole propped and at least have that coverages and get the benefits, because I do believe they're going to roll into 2021, and I do believe we're going to see a lot more this summer. So, and it just like breaks my heart, all of those small businesses who weren't able to take advantage of like that $20,000 small business grant that the province is offering and stuff. So yeah.
Definitely. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for popping that link in the group chat, Miriam. I've got you in the planning committee group chat too. All right, let's hop off, ladies. Thank you for staying later past 7. Definitely not expected, but very much appreciated. And if you have anything else to share, please just send me a message or a video or a voice note. And I'm so excited about this. I literally have butterflies and goosebumps and all of the good things right now. So thank you. And we'll see many of you in a moment on the 403-333-9999 when Gina does her run through.
Awesome.
Okay, bye.
Bye.